Okay, we should be live. But yeah, I can add that also to our discussion as well. Let's get it in here earlier.
I got my new shirt on, by the way.
I know, that thing looks so fresh. I love the color, man. It's good stuff. All right, I'm gonna fire up my camera, and we should be live right now. Taco, welcome to come up. Let's see, did you request up? Okay, cool, you're up. Perfect. And, oh, there he is. Look at those shades he's got on. Let's go, Taco. How we doing, man? You got some laundry in the back. It's good stuff, man. Driving through the rolling hills, you're on mute. Hopefully you're not actually behind the wheel right now, and Dora is the one who's driving, but...
Yeah, dude.
I can tell you are the one behind the wheel, though. Just be careful.
We're not driving. Not at all. Yeah, definitely driving.
You in that nice new truck?
Pretty around here.
You in that nice new truck?
What? You know it. So I talked to WebDev.
Yes.
And I asked him if he'd want to build a prediction market in collaboration with me, and he said he'd be interested. So we'll see what happens.
Sweet.
If we could get something super simple out, that'd be awesome. You know, just start with like NFL games and see what happens. So I don't know if that's gonna happen or not, but
well,
I've got
I know that Benny is working on a prediction market. But yeah, and then I've got something to share with you too. I may have vibed something up, around that a few weeks ago, just because I was trying to use some credits before they expired. So I can share that interface with you too, Taco. Constantine, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Thank you for joining.
Y'all hear me well?
Yeah, we can hear you great. And just cool. So you know, we're live streaming on YouTube at the moment too, so everything is being recorded, all that fun stuff, just so you know.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's good to see you. I appreciate you joining and starting to participate and be a part of the Voi community and Voi network. We got a lot of things going on. We're just getting started here. I've dropped an agenda in the comment section. So we'll just kind of start there, and we'll call to order, some opening remarks. It's good to see new faces in the space. I think we've been gaining a lot of traction, across the board with engagement in terms of, hardcore degen folks that are finding us, and I'd say per capita we are crushing it in terms of active developers for how early stage we are as a chain. We had a fantastic builders meeting this morning. It was really early Pacific time for me, so I was kind of half asleep for the first half of it. But for anybody who's either listening in or joining for the first time, Constantine, we do a builders meeting Wednesday mornings at 6 a.m. Pacific time, and that's updates on the core projects that are being built and worked on in the space. Today there was a lot of conversation around House of Voi, which is the decentralized casino and slot machine project, and it's more more than just that, or at least ideas for more than just that. There was conversation, I know Ludo had joined to talk a little bit about some of the security assets and all that fun stuff that he's been working on, as well as give a quick little update on some Aramid things too. And and we had a quick session about DorkFi and talked a little bit about that. So yeah, just figured I'd kick things off that way, and then we can jump right into some of the communications, updates, announcements, and kind of run through the list here, open discussion, and maybe we'll let's lift the deck screener and coin market cap discussion ahead of council elections, just because I know the council elections has been a really hot topic lately, and it will probably take up a decent amount of time. But yeah, let's run through these communication updates. I can talk a little bit about DorkFi, or we can, Haruf, if you want to jump into give some updates. Feel free to kind of jump in here too.
Yeah, sure. Also, hey, what's up? We were talking in my space on Monday, so just so you know who you're talking to. So, hello.
Oh, you're the one with the chubby whale.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Gotta love the Chubs, man. That was the second. The second.
Getting close to Friday, I've got a huge chub, man. It's like
Well, your name starts with an H, right?
Haruf, yeah.
Haruf. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, and feel free to check out dork.fi or dorkfi.com, and you'll see if you scroll down to the NFT projects or navigate to the NFT projects, you'll kind of see the genesis of Dorks V1, Chubs, Dorks V2, and a little bit more information there, just about that's kind of how we started. But anyways, from an update perspective, you guys all know we made an announcement in Monday Space about our pre-fi platform is opening on Friday. We will be sharing a time for that update tomorrow during Haruf's Thursday Basement Space. So some more information coming, and then Friday, I don't know. We're making the big announcement tomorrow, and then Friday we're going live.
They're gonna get the full announcement. Yeah, tomorrow via Medium article.
Yes.
And then Friday, I think people are going to be just holding their dicks waiting for it to launch. So
yeah, I'm super excited, just because I know what we're going to be announcing, and I think it's going to turn a lot of heads. And I was saying last night, it's not just a cherry on top. I think it's some whipped cream, sprinkles, hot fudge, and a cherry on top of a pretty nice cake we've got going on. So yeah, super excited about those announcements. It's all about the hype for it, and I'm sure our social accounts will be kind of tweeting out about it, and getting everybody aware of what's happening. So yeah, let's jump. I know there may be some updates from Aramid side of things. Want to always make sure that you guys have opportunity to share anything that's been going on. So yeah, if you want to hop in here, Haruf, and talk a little bit about Aramid, let's do it.
Yeah, Ludo's here, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what we're experiencing right now, we've been experiencing some issues with transactions, and it's related to the general network, but also to I don't know exactly how to describe it, but an account that was kind of flagged. So we've got a little bit of backlog right now. Things are starting to resolve, and the team is definitely looking at it to make some corrections. But yeah, in general, just a little bit of rough couple days here with Aramid, but people are being pretty kind about it in the Discord and stuff. They seem like they're understanding. So. And then as far as like general Aramid stuff, I don't have any major updates. I know the community has continued to talk about their desire to see the freeze and clawback lifted on certain tokens.
That was a topic of discussion this morning. I was listening into it,
for a while.
and yeah, I think there's good points on both sides. I understand it's a security precaution and also a security concern. It's kind of a double-edged sword. And I think at least my point, Ludo, if you're listening in, and a lot of folks in the space is, most of the tokens that were kind of talking about they're all meme coins and speculation, vessels. People understand that there's risks involved, significant risks, to the point where they're pretty much only putting money in knowing that there's like a 1 in a million chance that they're going to pump. And, I think it just scares folks away when there's a freezing clawback on bridged assets like that. So, it's not like it's USDC or some version of Bitcoin or some other tier 1 asset where you may want to have that type of security precaution. And it's also, makes sense for institutional grade request, say, bridging assets. If you're some type of financial institution that's utilizing Algorand or AVM, obviously those types of institutions are always going to want freezing callback, but we're just here to mess around and find out on memes in terms of some of those tokens. So if there could be an option, that would be fantastic. To not have freezing clawbacks on certain assets that end up getting bridged, that'd be really cool. It's obviously your project. I know that it might scare away core customers and core end users for you, in this stage. So just as, I think I'll leave it there at that. But let's get Chris up here to give a little House of Voy update. I know that he had some really cool stuff that he was sharing earlier in the builders meeting. Oh, he can't make it up. That's okay. Let's see. Oh, Ludo's coming up. Let's get Ludo up here. But yeah, we can, while Ludo's getting up here, House of Voy is well on its way to, I think he was saying 1 million transactions already, with like 20-ish users, which is kind of insane. Oh, I'm sorry, in a week. 1 million transactions in a week with about 20 users. And auto spins are up. There were some really cool ideas being floated around about, how to display those auto spins. And I'm not, fully part of the project, but huge supporter, early user. And I know there's some interesting ways that they're using soulbound NFTs to, reward the early users here too. So super excited about it, and look forward to hearing another update, sometime next week or in spaces and stuff throughout the rest of this week. But yeah, Ludo, welcome up, man. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you and all the work that you've been doing on House of Voy and the Satoshi Dice, all the things that you do, Biotech Wallet, all of it. So yeah, thanks for joining.
Hi guys. So thank you for having me.
Anytime.
Okay, so my let's perhaps view this freeze and clawback as the opportunity to tell the users that look, this is the Algorand asset, but it's basically breached asset from the Voy network, and because it's basically breached asset, you can trade it on multiple DEXs, even on Voy, like perhaps cheaper than on Algorand. And let's teach people, like every trader that is out there, that if he sees on the asset that there is the clawback and freeze, which starts with Aramid F, then it's basically the Aramid multisig address, and it's secure thing to have it there. That it's not something that he should be worried about, but let's kind of turn this into the opportunity to move some liquidity to Voi, for example. So, because like the security of these assets also depends on the bridge itself, because like most of the assets are at this multi-sig address. So basically, it's a good point for users to be aware that the security of the assets, of their assets that they are buying, it's not just the token issued on one chain, but also they bear the risk of basically the multi-chain transaction. Like, yeah. Like I think it's good to have this feature enabled, and if we communicate this properly to project owners and to the end users from these project owners, then it could be even a feature for Void.
I think I would have voted against the Aramid proposal had I known that freeze and clawback would have been kept on assets.
I think it would.
Yeah, I just have limited time here. I'm at work. Sorry to intrude, but I know that many end users have just looked away from the unit token specifically because of freeze and clawback. And I feel that gaining any sort of adoption of people from Algorand to Voi is going to be imperative to remove the clawback and freeze. Because on Vestige, it pops up a giant warning, and people just breeze right by that. Or once they find out it's on, then they dump it and move along. So that's my 2 cents. As a large holder, I want to see it gone. Thank you.
Let's communicate to Vestige to remove this big red warning. Like if it's this specific multi-sig address, which is known to Vestige, then they should not give a big red warning, but they should tell you that this asset is breached from the other chain.
Do you have a existing relationship with those guys over there, Ludo?
I think you guys have better relation. Like when I tried to propose here the decks, like they were the ones they were fighting here against me. So yeah, I believe someone here has better relations with them.
Hey Ludo, don't you think having freeze and clawback puts Aramid more at risk? Because if something was to happen, like an exploit, basically Aramid would be responsible for all the tokens instead of, the creators being responsible for their own tokens.
Not exactly, because like the multi-sig on the assets is absolutely the same security as the bridge itself. So if someone would want to basically do some harmful stuff on the assets, they would more likely to just take, for example, USDCs from the bridge or the algos there. So I think that the value of the tokens is smaller than the USDC and algo held at the bridge. So yeah,
How can we change your mind?
This perspective. Sorry?
How can we change your mind?
I go, why do you need to change my mind? Like, let's take this as the opportunity to teach people that this freeze and clawback is the good feature, because people will see this feature more and more as more security tokens will come to the Algorand. Like when I proposed last week this this proposal of ERC 1400 token to go to the Algorand, but actually at the Algorand Dev Council, we discussed that it's perhaps better to have the native ASAs because like the DEX usage and basically anything can be done little better with the ASAs. And the freeze and clawback is basically there, so the securities can be issued by basically the ASAs. And but my proposal was to bridge this ERC 1400, like I created the standards ARCs 1400. Yeah, we started this discussion, like what is the view of the Algorand on basically this, and I think they will do much more documentation about the security tokens, how they should be handled on Algorand, and we will see more and more the freeze and clawback in use. And if we teach people how to properly use the freeze and clawback, because like on if you have the smart contract tokens, you can put there any function that basically steals the user funds, right? So you need to have really properly audited the ARC 200, for example, if you want to give this to the users. And on the other side, it's much better. Yeah. I don't want to propagate here too much ASS, as I know that we focus more on ARC 200, but yeah.
Someone quickly break down what freeze clawback is, like what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's the ability for the creator of the token to either freeze the asset in the wallet or to claw it back and receive it back to their own wallet. So it's being used by the bridge as an opportunity to, potentially in the future, rectify issues. Some people with using clawback on Algorand, what they'll do is they'll use the feature, use it as a feature to like move assets around for things like games or whatever. But in this case, it's more of like a defensive mechanism.
Yeah, actually, one more thing: the freeze nor clawback has ever been used at Aramid at any asset. So I don't understand like why we have this discussion, but it's it is very good that we have the discussion and that people learn of these basically features, and they can check the freeze and clawback addresses, that they are not some private keys from some person just to steal the assets, and we teach community what these features really are.
But let's say I'm a black hat and I exploit the bridge and steal all the tokens in the bridge. This feature would allow it to like fix that problem completely.
If you hack the bridge, then we are all screwed. Like the bridge is screwed, and the assets are screwed as well. But it doesn't matter if this feature is enabled or not. If this multisig is basically used to steal the fund, or because all the reserve assets of these assets, all assets that we minted, are at this multisig address. So if there is a hacker and he steals the access to this multisig, then he can mint any number of these new tokens. He put it into the DEX. He does all the reg pooling, and then the tokens are screwed as well, even if this feature is not enabled. So
Well, if that's the case, then yeah, it's a feature, not a drawback.
Yeah, but the issue, because you're not active on Algorand, the issue is basically that freeze and clawback is synonymous with people launching tokens that are rugs, because they don't allow somebody, you know, in certain cases, they don't allow somebody to sell their tokens. They don't allow them to do much with them. So they basically, you know, it was used by predatory actors to create tokens, freeze them in place, call them back in some circumstances so that the user doesn't even have them anymore, and exploit systems. So aggregators like Vestige create warnings about it, and they put it up on the page. Okay, I agree with Ludo that in this case, one of the options would be for Vestige to just not display freeze and clawback for known bridge accounts, because they're kind of like deemed ahead of time to be trusted. But the kind of core kind of crux of this is the stuff that Chris is typing in the chat. I wish he was able to come up and talk about it. And also Bogan's point that when somebody is checking out a token like this, in this case a unit, a token that has a large amount of users, but originated on Voi and has a TVL that's, you know, that's quite high for a Voi token, they see that and they're like, no thanks. You know, whatever's going on here, I don't want a part of it. I've had, when it first launched, when the second iteration of Unit first launched on the bridge, I had a number of people DMing me saying, had no idea what was going to be going on with this thing. I thought about buying it, or I did buy it, and then I immediately sold it because, you know, I didn't like the fact that it had freeze and clawback. I still have people like Boa who, you know, have dragged their feet to convert liquidity from our old token to our new token because the new token has freeze and clawback. So it's not a lack of understanding that's leading people to make these decisions. It's a purposeful, thought out, you know, kind of, you know, decision that they've made that they don't want to have a part in it. And that's why I think the majority of the people in this community are saying, you know, we want the freedom to decline your additional protection. And that's I think, you know, that's where it's going to be. And like Chris said, you know, it's not, I mean, it's the options, there's lots of different options, obviously. But one option is that people are just going to say, hey, Aramid is not listening to the community. They don't have our best interest in mind, even though, you know, we're being treated like we have got parents. They're kind of, they're telling us what's best for us. And the outcome is going to be somebody will create another bridge, or they'll just do it manually, or they'll do something else. And Aramid will lose out on the top people who actually use the bridge. It's like 50 people or something that are all core to the Voi community, and I just.
Do you think Aramid's really gonna care though, because they already got their 50K, dude? Like that's what's bullshit, is that they got their 50K and then they pull this bullshit. Like that's absolute bullshit, dude.
It's 50 million Voi, and they only got, I think, first fifth. So things could potentially
listen to the fucking community, Ludo. Listen to the community, okay? Just do it. Just listen to the community. Like, we don't want freeze and clawback. Stop the bullshit. Like, we gave you a huge grant. Listen to the community, dude. I'm sick of this bullshit.
The argumental
bullshit.
discussion. Yeah, like, it's not just about the feelings. It's about the arguments.
It's not about your feelings either, Ludo. It's about the community. Okay, and we have feelings, you have feelings, and it sounds like you're being emotional about it as well.
No, I try to be argumental. Like there is there is no increased risk on having this on the asset, and
the risk though is we're not going to get adoption. The risk is not if the bridge is inducing risk on the token. The risk is you're not allowing my project to grow because of your position on this thing. That's the whole thing. Not only was the token launched the first time in a failed way because the token amount was too big and it looked like we had $1 billion market cap, but
you also realize that Voltcoin doesn't have freeze and clawback. Sorry.
Yeah, and now the second version of it is basically stymieing community adoption, and we've had plenty of people who have said, you know, I won't interact with it or whatever. It's not about educating them. It's they've got a position, you know, and I do think in this case specifically, but in any of the community cases, you know, if I specifically decline the extra protection, it's like selling insurance on a vacation or something. You know, it's like I'm on your car rental or something. I'm going to decline the extra protection. I've already got my own insurance. Thanks. You know, and you got to just kind of like go with it. Otherwise, somebody's going to go to a different car rental agency.
Chris is up here. You got thoughts?
I think
I also have a puppy yelling in my background, so that's why I didn't want to jump on. But anyway, talk to you, Ludo, about like the argument. The argument. I think your argument is correct. And it's purely logical. The freeze and claw back there actually doesn't matter, because if there is an exploit, everything is fucked anyway. But then the other way around is like the edge case at requiring freeze and clawback is pretty small as well. So the question becomes, what is the bigger lift? Educating an entire community that are full of degens that don't really do much reading or listening, or adding in a feature that allows it, or just building a small multi-sig transaction to turn off freeze and clawback for certain assets. Like, it feels like to me that it's much easier to just build a custom transaction to turn the freeze and clawback in a ad hoc way. Especially if it wouldn't break the overall system. If you don't use freeze and clawback anyway, building a small script that allows for all of the soldiers to sign the multisig to turn it off feels like a very light lift.
Yeah, I still think it's much better to educate the whole community what is the freeze and clawback.
I agree. I think educating the entire world on what is right and what is wrong is always the best thing. It's about difficulty and possibility. You already see, like, the people here. I wrote this here. I don't know if you're reading the chat. Many local people here are telling you that they hear what you said, and they don't give a shit. And this is the people that actually are here showing up. So there's tons of people that don't give a shit and don't give a shit that definitely won't even come to actually listen to you. So I agree. Like, you know, I love educating people, and everybody here, I'll tell you, what Ludo is saying is correct. Freeze and clawback on these assets don't actually matter. It's not a big deal about security or anything of that sort. It's not the issue. The biggest issue is purely about the culture and people not wanting to be educated. Like, my God, the amount of times that I have educated things on things much simpler and people just don't listen is countless. So I just, like, it's like an insurmountable task to educate the entire community to make this happen. So you get to hear the dog barking back on too. So there we go.
Let's get another dog barking. Farnsworth, what's up? I saw you had come off mute earlier to give an opinion. Are you there, Mr. Farnsworth?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I was making coffee. I mean, everyone has opinions, Ludo, and everyone's opinion is valid, but it's your project. So if you had a deal for your proposal and you fulfilled what was in that proposal, I think you should run your project however you want it. If people want to go somewhere else and you're willing to accept that, that's their decision. If they don't want to be educated, that's also their decision. And if they don't care about your reasons, you don't have to care about theirs. It's your project, you built it. As long as you fulfilled whatever fine details were in your proposal to get that grant money, you should run it however you want. And if you think this is better, don't get bullied out of it by community sentiment.
It's not just community sentiment though. People vote with their buying power and if they're actually going to use the application. So I think my point is you're just going to have less people using Airmint, and yeah, it was wasted time then at that point to even allow for the meme coins to be bridged. So I don't know. But I think we beat this one to a pulp at this
Still have to make. I think he understands that, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it's a choice. It's, you know, it's definitely, it's your project, Ludo. Farnsworth's not wrong. Or you're in Daniel's project. But anyways, I think we've kind of beat this one to death. I don't want to spend the entire meeting going round and round in circles on it. If anybody wants to say one last thing or whatever, have any questions, speak now or forever hold your peace on this for at least this particular meeting.
I just want to say that it's very interesting to see people working together regardless if they agree or not. And I commend everybody on being participants in that, regardless of the outcome.
It's fun. It's fun. This is the beauty of being early in a launch of a layer 1 blockchain. You get opportunities to disagree, and there's obviously decisions that need to be made, you know, from a project standpoint, from a network-wide standpoint, and that's why, you know, we hold these committee meetings.
So I would say one more thing to Ludo that I just thought of when I jumped off stage, is that you've experienced how difficult it is to educate the developers who are educated, spend the time to do all of the actual research and a lot of things, and you can't convince them. The chances of convincing the meme coin degens of anything is like negative a million, whatever the units that we're talking about.
Oh, I just put 2 and 2 together. This is like having mint or freeze capability enabled on a Solana token. Yeah, that I get it now. I wouldn't buy it either.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so yeah, let's move on for now. I'm sure this won't be the end of this discussion, and people are still going to be loud and talking about it in other forms, but for today, I think we're over that one. Constantine, let's talk about Dex Screener and CoinMarketCap, because I know you're in my DMs and you've got experience with getting listed on Dex Screener and some of these other platforms to get Void Network some more visibility. I think that's a really good place to be out there, and this entire game is a game of visibility. The more visibility you have, the more likely you'll capture some attention and grow KPIs. So
well, as we know, like Dex Screener exists as a central hub for all multi-chain like efforts. Like I don't know, before I knew how to use what's it called? Chain Finder or whatever, it's impossible to even know new chains exist unless they're on that left side of Dex Screener, right? And so in the Dex Screener Discord, the process in which you get listed on there is you have to go and it's like a thread. You fill out the information they ask for, and then you have people go vote or comment on it, or I've seen people be successful with it by just basically not spamming, but having as many people as possible interact with the thread you set up with your application. It's kind of like one of those force their hand type things. If you have 300 people come and interact with a thread, Dex Screener knows it's in their benefit to add the thing to the left side. I don't know what it is on the technical aspect of it, because I don't know if Algorand is on there. But
I'm actually really surprised to learn, by the way, I just looked it up,
Algo is on
that
there.
Algo is back on Deck Screener. For a while, it was actually gone. It looks like it reappeared on the 6th of September. Unit token is on there. I paid for Deck Screener. So the ability for Algorand to be back on there is great. Yes, you would still need to lobby for Voice specifically to be featured. Sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good. And so that's there's really like no more into it than that. You kind of just, you're at the whim of Deck Screener, but you go to the Deck Screener Discord, you fill out that thread, and then you have people go interact with it. Now on the CoinMarketCap thing, it's a little disheartening to find out that there is no listing process where you have to go vote, and all that stuff they put on the front end it's a bunch of fugazi. It's not real. You literally go fill out the form, pay them their $5,000. It's listed in 24 hours, and that's. You can believe what they say on the website all you'd like, but it's a bunch of smoke and mirrors. They charge $5,000 for the listings, and that's it. And it is that easy. You just go to the website, you make an account, you fill out the application, you pay the $5,000. It's listed in 24 hours. And not to break anybody's a belief in CoinMarketCap or anything, but it's pay to play, and there's no way around it.
That makes sense. And
I guess in summary, that's the two things. A, we need to go to Deck Screener, fill out the thing. B, we need to go to CoinMarketCap, fill out the application, pay the fee, and it's good.
Yeah, and we are listed on CoinGecko, and I think I don't know if any of our tokens are listed there at the moment, but just Voi is. And then the other one that I know that StockTwits were listed on that, and I noticed that there hasn't been a whole lot of activity on StockTwits. So just a call to action for anybody in the chat here, if you've got a StockTwits thing, go and post in there, regularly if you can. Go do it right now if you can. Get some of those metrics going. But yeah, I think the $5,000 fee, where we're at least in the growth of the chain, I'm not sure if we're ready to kind of spend $5K just for the listing. I do see $5,000 worth of value out of being listed there. I think that having more visibility, it makes sense to me, and I almost feel like Deck Screener would be better, just because that's where the true degens are that are looking for early tokens. And
honestly, CoinMarketCap has lost its luster. I don't know anybody personally that goes to CoinMarketCap for alpha or new info. If you're not a super new to this industry in general, or just an extra boomer, I don't think that CoinMarketCap holds the same weight that it used to. I think Deck Screener is much more important.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think what's another one out there that I use pretty regularly is birdeye.so. I don't know. I haven't messed around with them or done any listings with them. I just use it to spot. And I know that some of those kind of banker bot type of bots, they run on Deck Screener and or what is it? What did I just say? Birdeye.
Birdeye, yeah.
Yeah. So, if we can get kind of listed on those two and included in some of these banker bot type of applications, I think that would be, super helpful, super good for us. I know.
As far as onboarding is concerned, if the $5,000 was going to be spent, I'm just saying hypothetically, right? You would be better off having a developer create a Telegram trading bot that allows you to auto set up a wallet and then trade within the Telegram interface. That will, me personally, right, being a trencher, I know that I could onboard 200 people to Void today if that existed, right? That's as far as the onboarding process and spreading the awareness, having the ability to trade easily within Telegram without having to install new wallets and learn new stuff and add the accounts to your wallet, that was new to me too, you know, but I just mean, I don't mean to cut you off, dude. I just mean to say that, like,
No, this is
as
great.
far as awareness is
I mean,
concerned,
this
like
is-
utilization and usability, and then in press is more important than listing.
No, and this is good. I'm just gonna take some notes here because I think a Telegram trading bot is something that we should probably add to the Biddle board as something that we want to see developed as well. I think we could probably put a bounty up for something like that. Makes a ton of sense, especially if you've got a good Telegram following. I think that's one of the platforms that we as a community don't utilize enough. It's just, I think a lot of us are X and Discord folks, but I know how much of how many folks in this entire ecosystem run things through Telegram. So it would make a ton of sense. I don't know if you know, Constantine, if you know any developers that would be interested in potentially building something like that. I know that a lot of the folks that are in this space are busy with multiple different projects at the moment. But if there's anybody in the audience that has that skill set, or if you know somebody, Constantine, I think there would definitely be.
Is there an Algorand Telegram trading bot already?
Not that I know of.
Because I've
like
never
I said
seen one, is
before,
why I
I'm
asked.
like not like the biggest Telegram guy. But
Fair enough.
there is. Oh, okay. No, Chris is saying TG interface for HOV next. Yeah, that'd be freaking sweet. Yeah, and when you do that, Chris, then.
It's like this whole idea of what I guess what they call trenching, right? In my opinion, what they mean is going into Telegram and being in these cook groups or these alpha groups, right? These privates. They sit there and they scan new coins. They look for which ones are going to be like the next thing. And albeit I come from a Solana mindset, that's just what I'm used to, right? But like if we're to capture market share, we don't have to do it just like, but having just similar paths for the volume to flow through isn't a terrible idea.
Totally agree. Yeah, I think it's all about visibility, and if you get into the right group, it makes a ton of sense. Thorpe, what's up, man?
Morning, guys. I was just enjoying the conversation. I do like the idea of a Telegram and or a Discord bot for market transactions within communities, because having both would actually be beneficial, because there's maxis on TG and then there's maxis in the Discord. And I mean, it would make sense to roll out a Discord one first, considering most of the community within the Discord, right? You know what I mean? So I'm not in the TG group for Voy, right? I don't know how big that is, but considering if it's a smaller following than within the Discord, it would just make more sense to have one made for the Discord.
I just read the comments, and you're right, dude. I guess I just mean to say, making it easier for the creation of wallet and transactions to go through in whatever capacity,
No, for sure, and I get that, and that's the name of the game too, right? So it's in order to onboard new members, right, we need to cater to their wants and needs, and
100%.
Sometimes them trying to find a way to buy it elsewhere, right? Why not give them a means to buy within the community itself, right? It's
Totally
a game
agree.
changer, in a sense. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, right?
No, I think you're absolutely right.
And what I've seen a lot too, there's a lot more scam communities on TG. A lot of people are very disheartened with it, right? And they don't like it, right? So that's what I'm saying. Having both will cater to both sides of the pond. You know what I mean, right?
100%.
Hearing you say that actually makes me feel like Discord would be a better primary focus, because you are correct. The
Yeah.
Nigerians have ruined Telegram, and that's a joke. I'm just kidding. But if the predominant place for the Void community right now is on Discord, then yeah, that would be a better primary focus for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the following is in the Telegram, right? But we got at least 20K members within the Discord. And though it's like mostly untapped because we don't have like a lot of them are due to inactivity. If we add more stuff to the Discord, like even like giveaways, fun stuff, right? Like it'll boost the activity within the Discord, and people will see that, and then they'll use those tools, right? Sometimes you got to lead a horse to water, right? You
Yeah.
can't necessarily make them drink, but you give it the option. So it's
Absolutely. Easy
and
K.
degens are gonna degen.
Oh,
so
for sure. Easy K, welcome up. Appreciate you
Okay.
and all the work that you've been putting in. Easy
and
K.
then just to touch on like the clawbacks and the freeze,
Yeah.
like I mean, like most of the community is just like saying no, 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 right? They don't want it, right? So it's like sometimes you just got to go with the community with like on like decisions like this too, right? Because you don't want to like piss off a bunch of freaking people for like not listening to them or whatever, right? We're all supposed to have a voice, so I mean, we got to give them their voice, right? So
Yeah.
that's all for me.
Sweet. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming up. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
With what he just said, I just want to like say one thing, Ludo, I don't know you and I don't know the situation, and honestly, it doesn't bother me either way because I'm not involved. But I will say this much: you'll be everyone's hero should you choose to give them their way, which I feel like behooves you.
He doesn't care about that. I can promise you that.
Fair enough.
I just pushed 3 new achievements for House of Boy, everybody. 3 new achievements. We'll see how long it takes for them to show up. They're just being pushed now.
Love it.
I'm still waiting on that Discord link.
What Discord link?
You know.
They want the House of Void Discord links. They want all this stuff.
They want to
Who
join.
does? Thorpe?
Wink, yeah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Well, why don't you just DM me?
Okay.
Actually,
fine.
just DM me. It'll be a lot easier for me to send it to you rather than go through all that process.
That's fair. That's fair. Thanks, Chris.
Oh, no problem.
Sweet. Yeah. I think,
All the achievements are showing up now. Whoop.
love it. I know Easy K jumped
You
up here. If he wants to chime in, you're more than welcome to. Appreciate you, all the work you're doing.
You won't be able to claim them yet, though, Haruf. Just so you know. But look at the tiers and make sure that the tiers make sense.
I found one error. I'm pretty sure I don't have a losing streak of 25. My losing streak was 22, but it says that I can claim the 25.
I think you. I mean, the logs show you have a 25.
It doesn't lie. Okay.
I mean, it could lie.
Oh, no, I do have 27 now. Wow, that auto spin last night was great.
Hey Chris, how's the fundraising going for HOV?
It's fine. The main thing is that at this stage, looking for people that want to be along with the ride and also strategic investors. We're making actually so much progress, and honestly the traction is like exponential at this point that I'm considering self-funding and just bypassing this round completely, and then just doing a much bigger round later. Because like we're to the point now where like it's working. It's
good stuff.
It's awesome.
Love it. Yeah, I've got somebody who may be interested too, so I'll put you in contact with him. I just need to follow up for some Dorkfire stuff first.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely interested. Somebody who's close to Las Vegas guy, close to the casino stuff. So anyway.
Yeah. Exactly. So, I mean, one thing that I did mention in the builders call this morning that I'll mention again here is that I was talking to Gup the other day, and apparently people don't understand the business model of House of Boy. And a lot of people just think that the house is where where is the business model. I mean, this is the extremely far from the truth. But he told me that what I should do is I should do a spaces, and I'll probably do a spaces next week that goes over and actually what the business plan of House of Voy is.
Sweet. That's awesome.
But to be honest,
Looking
people
forward to it.
people won't listen. People won't be educated, and they'll assume what they want, as always.
It happens, man. I know. I've talked ad nauseam about Dorify, and we had lots of questions last night that made me realize that, you know, some folks were probably not listening all those times. But anyway,
Makes sense.
I wanted to definitely set some time aside, and we kind of started a little bit late, so I'm happy to go a little bit longer because this is a very healthy discussion, and I think it's really important. But definitely wanted to talk a little bit about, you know, the Biddle board, trying to set up a Biddle Blitz too, you know, where we all kind of get together and you know, promote the Biddle board, and you know, talk about how much you could actually earn, and you know, get other projects involved. Aramid would love to have you guys, and I know Wilder does have access to post on the Biddle board as well, so he's mentioned to me that he's got plans for you know, adding some Aramid bounties out there too. But yeah, I think it's an underutilized opportunity for us to get technical and non-technical developers engaged, and being able to you know, earn by contributing and building. It doesn't matter if you've got, you know, technical skills or just want to learn. There's opportunities on that board. Some things that are completely non-technical, and then other things that kind of scale up, and all in between. So I think we should use this, maybe one of the next couple meetings, to dive in and plan out how we want to do communication for it, and rally some troops and get that going. I know also Cabesis, Kieran was in this meeting last week, and he was talking about how he was planning on doing a Cabesis hackathon of some sort with some of the node rewards that he's earned, and some of the transaction rewards that he's earned from that wallet, and post that as you know, the prize pool. So I'll be coordinating a little bit more with Cabesis, and maybe it's a Biddle Cabesis, you know, bug bounty blitz, since we're in football season. Why not call it that? But yeah, Easy K, if you're able to speak, more than welcome to. I see you got some comments in here, but yeah, if you're able to speak, you're welcome to. We can't hear you.
Did I touch base on the CCM and or the CMC and Deck Screener? Because like there's a lot of stuff on that we could utilize on Deck Screener more than like, say, like, you know, CoinMarketCap. But like, you know, let's face it, 5,000 is like a little bit much, but you know, you pay the fee for getting listed on Deck Screener, and then you can actually like run ads through it where you get more visibility through Deck Screener itself, and it usually attracts a lot of degens. But I mean, it would be a lot cheaper than getting on CoinMarketCap, right? Like, you know what I mean? And then, like, it would also kind of give a bit more visibility, right? Like I said in the comments, it's like, it's probably like start with Deck Screener and then like do like a CMC like next year or like whatever, right?
Just to be clear, dude, I'm not speaking on updating the Deck Screener link, like the banner for Voy. I'm speaking on the left side, adding Voy as a chain and then tracking all of the tokens on the chain with its own like subsection.
Right. Yeah, no, like that would probably be very beneficial, actually. When like stated like that, like being actually listed on a chain there. I'm not too sure what the fees would be on that. If they're like if they would be roughly, like closer to what CMC is offering, but I mean like then there's still all the degens are on deck screener.
Yeah.
Like it's more like, financial institution like people that like, like that are on like CMC, and then getting like a number one spot there is like, it can be pretty hard, right? Like considering with all the other like competition and all the other big players that are paying, out the ass to freaking, get those spots there, right? Sometimes it's like, yeah, it's better to start off small and then go big later when when you're starting to like get a good like, snowball of momentum going.
And then
right?
something that Ludo had brought up a while back too was with our existing CoinGecko, there is an opportunity to have a news feed on that, and if we're regularly posting things onto that news feed, I am sure there are bots, agents that are out there scanning, CoinGecko with their CoinGecko APIs, and and that could also be another opportunity to lift our visibility. I'm not sure who
100%.
is it Shelly that does all the CoinGecko stuff, or is it somebody else in the
I think it's Shelly. I mean, Shelly pretty much does like everything. So
I'll
Shelly
ask
does a
him
lot.
again.
Shelly does a lot of stuff here. So if it's anybody, it's probably Shelly.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. It could be Zarmian. Are you involved with that at all, or?
And I know it could have also come through like Benny or Chris maybe.
Or yeah, maybe. Either way, yeah. Like I mean, if we were to like make a call of action for the Void community to start like like mentioning CoinGecko and tweets stuff like that, that could be really beneficial for everybody too. It just maybe even incentivizing that would freaking be beneficial for the community. Like I don't know how you want to like work it, but like I'm sure we could figure it out one of these meetings. So
Totally. Yeah, I think that.
Anyway, that's all I wanted to add. I won't interrupt anymore.
Oh no, you're more than welcome to. That's what this forum is for. That's what this space is for. Is to get feedback, get ideas, and create some action items against them. So I really appreciate you joining and giving your thoughts and being here with us. It's always nice when we've got a full house.
Oh yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right. There was a couple other things we can talk council election stuff. I'm tired of that conversation. No, I'm just kidding. It's a big one, but it's maybe longer than what we want to stick around here for. Since we're on the topic more so on marketing right now, would love to hear if there's anybody in this space that's interested in running the Void Network Twitter account as a kind of running back by committee type of platform. I know during our council meeting yesterday, Yeo had some really good ideas about just having vetted community members run that as a team, 3 to 5 folks that are in the know of kind of what's going on in the space and can retweet and do all sorts of different things, and then retroactively submit a grant for the work that they've done. I think that makes a ton of sense if we've got some community members that are open and willing to participate in that way. The opportunity is there. We can talk about doing it other ways too, but in my opinion, I thought that was a good idea, and I would love to hear what you guys think.
I nominate Haruf.
Yeah, a roof would be a good one. As far as the incentive portion, I might suggest that rather than doing a fully retroactive grant, since that's kind of, you're trying to incentivize, maybe do like, set the total amount, but do milestones. Like you get, a tiny amount up front, and then for every, X amount of engagement that you gather or whatever metrics you want to use, like use a milestone thing. That way you're not paying the whole thing up front and potentially losing, but also people feel like they're not quite gambling on whether they'll get a retroactive grant or not. They know they'll get, piece by piece as they hit the milestones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was something that I think is a
You could
good
run it
idea
off
too.
of, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, and I had originally, I haven't shared it out with anybody. I had originally kind of drafted up something similar to that as a proposal, where it's kind of like you hit certain KPIs along the way, and that's how you get paid out, and it's like a split 50-50, vested over a certain period of time, as other folks are. And then 50-50 free or non-vested tokens, I should say, where those community members can go and engage and participate in House of Voy, Dorkfi, Nautilus, any of the other Nomadex, any of the other platforms, or if they want to bridge over to Algorand, they can. So that was kind of my idea, but yeah, I would love. Thorpe, I didn't mean to cut you off there too. So
No, all good for again. I'm just sitting outside right now, so a truck just drove by, so it was really loud. You're good. No, I was saying that like something like that, you could probably run off of like the engagement and views metrics of like the activity part of the side of Twitter, like with statistics and shit. See what posts that members are posting, right? Get them to like submit whatever they're posting from the account, right? And then using those metrics from those as like kind of like milestone markers, like say like, oh, this post got like 1,000 views or whatever, right? Blah blah blah. You can use those metrics as like sort of milestones, right? And it's something to like use as a gauge to like see what that member is bringing to the table for like the for the account, right? So it's food for thought anyway.
Yeah, makes sense. I think one of the challenges that I can see is not being able to tell who out of the community is posting if we're doing it like by committee. So it's like, how do you claim that was your post, and you get the
they would have to submit their own post. They would have to submit them, like whether it be in a document or something that's viewable, but it's something that's transparent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't submit, blah blah blah, it would just require a little bit of love.
Yeah. Totally. I think that's that's fair enough if you're working for your bags.
Yeah.
It makes
and
sense.
I mean, it's also something that like an AI agent could possibly be trained to track.
Yeah.
Right. Like, at least in in a somewhat automated way, right? Mm-hmm.
Totally. And I know
it would just be training the AI to do it.
And we have had some discussions about doing kind of like an AI agent for the official account, but having humans in the loop where it's not only an agent that's posting and engaging. It's an agent and multiple folks that are just kind of bolstering that agent. With the AI agents, I know just in my own personal experience, sometimes they can get they can do weird things that are unexpected.
No, I've seen that too. That's why I would need to be programmed to like not really like engage with those tweets, but at least like like maybe even capable of like sending like a DM to the actual like Voy account.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And be like, yo, here's what's going on with this tweet or something like that. Something that's like non-engaging, right? It's like, but it's like easily programmable. It sounds a little bit easier than what it probably is, but.
Right. and it also, there's a cost that's associated with, you know, running these agents too. So, you know, the API calls, you can, you know, set parameters around how frequently they're posting and how many times that they respond to people, and all of those things that can kind of limit the costs.
There's a lot to take in consideration with it for sure, but I mean, it's something that, like, you know, like one or two community members could, like, you know, check into through, like, say, a document created for the members that are running the Void network, and that way it's kind of like documented, and, you know, participation can be tracked. And
Totally. Would you be interested in doing something like that?
I mean, I would be. I got a lot on my plate right now, but I mean, it's something that I could probably work in. I just don't want to make promises before I know I can make them.
Totally.
But that's something I would be interested in for sure. I just got a lot of irons in the fire right now, and I need to pull some out before I can put more in. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. I know. I know all too well.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just waiting on all the stuff with the friends, like the consolidation, and then I got my chain side of things, right? And then that's starting to, like, go parabolic. So, yeah, I'm just once things calm down a little bit, that might be something that I'd be interested in for sure.
Sweet. Yeah. No. Obviously, I think, like, incentivizing people to take on more responsibility always helps. So it's, you know, it's nice to have, we can hash out what we think is a good compensation and incentivization that's aligned with our kind of current standing as a chain, and kind of what the job entails.
Well, maybe we should have a sit down and we can talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Sounds good, man. Sweet. Yeah, I don't know how are you guys feeling, gauging the temperature of the meeting. We've gone on now for definitely an hour at this point, and since we started a little bit late, I was kind of setting up the live stream and all that fun stuff. But yeah, do we want to dive into any of the other things? Council elections, governance changes, mobile iOS wallet, any of that stuff?
Yeah, why not? We got a full house right now. A lot of people listening.
That's
good
true.
Time.
Farnsworth, what do you think about council elections?
Oh, geez, me?
And you're up to speed. You're up to speed with Wilder stepping down, and where we're at right now is at least the current sitting council is operating in a voluntary role, where, you know, we need to do elections, and we need you know, to maybe make some decisions around how we run our proposal process. Do we keep it? Do we make some changes? Do we limit? Do we make it easier? Do we make it harder? You know, how do we want to kind of push forward with these things? So anyway, yeah, go ahead, Farnsworth.
You know, I think that we need to look very clearly at, like, what does the landscape even look like right now? And what I mean by that is like, councils are up for elections. You guys are operating on a voluntary basis, but do you have anyone who even looks like they're trying to campaign to replace you? Is there anyone who is trying to step into Wilder's spot now that he's moved down, right? I get the ideas of the chain and how it was started, but, like, do we have the people who actually want to take on this role to even kind of have the conversation about elections and such like that? I think that
I think
It
Scotty
probably takes a
Scotty
much-
is
yeah.
I think Scotty's interested based on the way he talks about things, and I think he'd be a great candidate. However, his position on it is twofold. He thinks that the equity is for council members is not up to standard for other competitive chains, and he thinks that it should be more competitive for those council members and for those big decision makers. And the second piece for Scotty is he thinks that the process, the meat grinder, if you will, of our proposal process should be a little bit less cumbersome. So it's twofold. It's a have a cake and eat it too type of position that he's taken, but it sounds like he's interested if those two things were addressed. Spent some time last night talking with him and hashing out some of his ideas. He was also, going off the deep end, or maybe not off the deep end. Maybe it's not as controversial as I think it might be, but moving away entirely from having a governing council in its current form, and moving towards like full on just straight up delegation and removing the council, and just moving to like a on-chain voting specifically for these types of proposals, and the community either gives thumbs up or thumbs down and we move on. So he's
like a DAO.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah,
the voting process actually over on VeChain with the way that they have their DAO set up is working quite well for them. And I mean, I'm not saying freaking it's something that Voice should do specifically or kind of mimic, but at least maybe take something from that for a lot of our decision making. Let the people and the holders kind of decide on proposals. Essentially, right, with their voting power. It's just rolling it out, right?
And so do they have kind of a weighted delegation system in place, or?
Yeah, so on VeChain they got their VThor token, which is their gas, and then they got VeChain, which is the main token, but they have two secondary tokens called Better and Vote. And what the purpose of these is basically you turn your Better into Vote, and then people that are holding the vote then can vote on proposals within the ecosystem, giving DApps grants for sustainable use cases of Better tokens to allocate to their holders to use as a reward, right? So Better's used as a reward token for sustainable actions on Voy, and then people can convert those into vote at a 1-to-1 basis, and then that's their voting power on chain, right?
Yeah,
so it's quite a clever system that they got set up over there.
We do have there is a vote coin out here, but I think it might have freezing clawback on it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I had to say it. But no, I think that is definitely interesting. I'll have to kind of take a look at their system, but it's
one thing I would say though, I mean, I don't fully understand the VeChain process. I think that with DAOs, you got to be careful of being able to just buy votes and the control falling into a few people's hands anyways. And maybe they have that, I don't know, their system just based off of what you said. But also,
the Better token is viable, on chain, right? And it's used by the communities to reward their members and whatnot, right? So yeah, you can buy voting power with it. But also Better's allocated to a lot of the DAO, the DApps on the DAOs, their ecosystems. You have to be an X node freaking runner to actually endorse some of these DApps. So these DApps are basically vetted and essentially everything is all what's it called? What's the word? Everything's all doxed in a sense, right? There's anybody can vote on chain, right? But you vote on all these DApps, right? And then these DApps get certain allocation from the foundation, et cetera, right? And then it's all yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
what,
but
I used to
who
be
I
a
would
VeChain
say,
freaking OG, right? I used to be a VeChain OG, and then I took a break from the chain for a while, and it's completely different. So I'm even still learning like all the ins and outs of it myself,
sure.
right? So they rolled this all out within the last year.
And I wonder if there are any borrow lend applications that offer better as a, or the other token, the vote token as an option.
Yeah, they do like a weekly or a monthly vote on things. You just convert your better tokens into vote, and then you go through either like vDelegate or whatever, and you can set allocations on your favorite D apps on the chain, and then you get rewarded for voting. Right? You get rewarded more better for voting. So it's all incentivized. It's all on chain. It's all like transparent. Like it's quite a decent setup, and
It sounds like it's working too.
It is actually. There's a lot more people being onboarded, right? Because of all like the basically the eco initiatives, right? Like there's a D app on there for like cleaning up freaking beaches, but you can freaking earn better by picking up dog shit. Like I'm not even joking. Like it's quite a clever system,
Like,
and it's just like it's all
literally
meant
dog
for
shit.
like sustainability, because that's VeChain's thing. But I mean, what we want is to like take kind of like that voting idea and then like apply it to like basically our committees, and like just basically like essential things that should be voted on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having like just like a board of members deciding what's going on. Like we can get the community involved and actually like be the blockchain we were built to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys mind if I jump in here real quick?
Yeah.
No
Go
problem.
for it.
So the Void governance was set up to fix a lot of the issues that DAOs and just normal everybody votes on everything governance, because one of the things that has been shown time and time and time again is that when you have an open DAO, when you have it so that anybody that has Void can vote, 95%, maybe like not even maybe higher, of the people don't actually give a shit. They won't vote. This means that the small percentage of people that do, they drive the ship, and they and then the other people are like, oh well, I need a vote, so they'll go in and they'll just vote for the top thing they see because they what they see. So the whole idea of the board, the council, is to be voted in by the community, to be the voice of the community. And the community can delegate their power to their council member. There was somebody that said that I will actually give a shit, and I will let you look at things, and I will support your vote. And to actually make it so that the community still feels like they have a voice, you have the ability to decide where your delegation goes. And you have the ability to pull your delegation from people if they voted incorrectly. So there's a lot of talk here on how to actually fix governance, how to do governance on Void when the actual real model has never actually been implemented yet. And so I'd like to ask the question, does the community not want to do it that way? Because to me it makes a lot of sense to actually to launch governance like how it was written up in the Constitution.
well, so I think, I agree with Chris, which is probably not something I say that often. I agree with Chris on DAOs and how they end up, right? I was going to say in my last speaking, the DAOs typically operate under the tyranny of the majority, which most of them don't give a shit, and the majority is actually just a handful of people. But also, I would say that the aspect of how governance is written on Void right now, it kind of feels like real communism has never been tried. I think this is how. I think we are trying the governance model as it's written, and these are the issues that we're running into. We have a lack of people who even want to do the job and stuff right now, and maybe that's just down to not so many users at this point. But I think whether you want to talk about DAOs or otherwise, really we're facing an immediate challenge.
So what I was really getting at is like, you know, I mean, this is how like DAOs are used to vote. Like, why not use something where we can vote on these nominated members, right? You know, like just something like not necessarily like a DAO, but like, you know, take an idea of it and use that for like voting on like our committees, right? Like kind of like essentially what you're also saying, Chris. It's kind of like, yeah, like I get what you're saying, 100%, and like we all want that too. It's okay. We just need something to be able to vote for that.
Hey, Farnsworth, what part of the governance that's written up in the Constitution do you think is the most broken?
I think that I don't necessarily think that it's broken, actually. I think that like the council needs to be not even the council. I think some of the processes, like proposals and all that, do need to be cleaned up. I'm actually in favor of a council, air quotes, people.
That's
like
the current governance is not what the governance is written in the Constitution. So I want to make sure that we're just talking about the same thing. So saying like communism hasn't been given a chance, like that the existing governance that's written up in the Constitution is a very arrogant, you know, way to do governance that has not been fully implemented yet. So by saying that, like throwing that away or saying that there's a problem with that, like that's like crazy talk because we're not even to that stage yet. And
well, no, that's
it sounds like to me.
A problem with it at all. I'm not saying there's a problem with it. I'm just saying that it's not implemented yet, and like in order to like actually like vote on some key things here, we just need something. That's all I'm getting at.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm kind of pointing more at Farnsworth. Like it sounds.
Did I lag out, or I can't hear anything?
Yeah, did we lose Chris?
Yeah,
I think we
lost Chris.
Yeah. Chris is.
Did he cut out on it? Sounds for you guys too?
Yeah. Yep.
Howard should be.
Yeah,
people.
There you are.
Yeah,
oh.
you cut out there, Chris, for a minute.
Oh, sorry. But anyway, my whole thing is that really the only people that should be talking about what the governance should be should have at least read the Constitution. And see what the Constitution says the government should be or avoid. Sure. Because talking about how the government should be without actually seeing what the original plan is and how we get there, it's missing a lot of very hard work and a lot of research that was put into how government should be.
Of course.
I mean, that's great, Chris. I read the Constitution, a long time ago, but I'm talking about the government we have right now, not the government we wish we had. Right now we have a council and not enough members to replace the people who are leaving. And the new council members are doing their job on a voluntary basis because there's really no one else to step up to. So even if it's not the model that you intended, that model, I mean, is still just a dream. Like, unless you have a concrete way to implement it that you can talk to us about right now, today, we need to figure out what we're doing for the council and for governance right now. Talking about DAOs and all that, like, they're good ideas, but those take time to develop. That'd be at least months long to get a DAO set up. And so what are we doing today?
Beckman, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, I just wonder if you're running this
meeting. I think we all make some good key points here,
yeah.
Right? And I mean, we shouldn't be arguing, but like the fact is we need something right now, right, to kind of like address issues.
So, and I would say
application to actually build out and to actually implement this yet in these meetings. I haven't been to all of them. Because it sounds like people think that nothing has been done. There's been no process been put into place, and this hasn't been addressed in like in the actual council meetings.
Sorry, I turned my camera on and it paused you there for a second. I think, yeah, if you could repeat that, that'd be great.
So what I'm saying is that listen to people talk. It sounds like they don't think anything is being done, anything is being addressed. That there hasn't been actually a process put in place, or at least started on to establish a government. And it feels like the request out there is like, how should we fix this, rather than this is the plan going forward that we plan on fixing this, and what do you think about this? Because I don't want to derail, because any type of starting new is going to set anything back. And we should definitely talk about the current process and what is actually being put in place, much more than this is an open sandbox and what can we do.
Well, I think just as a sitting council member, there's a couple of things that I'm really I've got questions on. It's how are we going to move forward with the elections? Or are we going to go ahead and do application type of thing like it was done previously? Are we going to go as sitting council members endorse people to get them to be interested in campaigning for their role? How do we want to run the election? The second piece,
I think as a council member, you should direct the community on what has been discussed and what you guys actually have been thinking, because leaving a open canvas, we're going to get a lot of noise. So I agree that's, to what is the council decided? The job of the council is to actually to propose and get feedback on, and asking the community, if the idea is that the community is up to the community to figure it out, nothing will ever be done.
You're not wrong.
My point, yes, this is what I've been saying. Yes, if it's up to the community, nothing will get done. And I think that putting that onus on them too much is a negative. I get the idea of governance, but talking about what we need to do today, I really think there's only a handful of people who would even be qualified or considered for council, and most of them are already on the council. There's maybe 2 or 3 other people that might be not on the council and yet considered by the community to be eligible. So what do we do there? And I think that at best, or the easiest thing in my mind would be to essentially carry on the council if they're willing, as it is. Wilder's out, so you do need a new member. I would think that a foundation kind of model is better. That's just me, but I think that at a minimum for the next year, we need to kind of probably not, we don't really have the people, the numbers, or the setup to maybe, do governance as it was envisioned. And I think the smartest, easiest, most reasonable thing to do is probably to more or less carry on as we have, fill Wilder's spot, see who among the council members is willing to stay on, and kind of carry on for the next year, planning out how to do that. Whether that's DAO models, because that's going to take a lot of time to plan and build and test, or whether it's, Chris's governance model, that's going to take time to implement as well. We need solutions.
To be clear.
We need a PR guy to put it out there.
Even something as simple as freaking just a ballot system. I don't know, right? There's something for the existing council members to call votes on for new council members to come up as to be either replaced or to add to the existing council team.
I really don't think it's that complicated. There's not that many of us, who come to the space as part of the community. I feel like we can just talk about this and be like, hey man, we think as a group, Thorpe should be on the council. And I think we can just decide that without having to build a system or develop on-chain governance or something like that. We can just kind of, be like, all right, you're in, tag, you're it.
Right. So sometimes it's about trust. Who do the council members trust most within the community? Who's working harder? Who's docs, who's not? Blah 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 blah. Right. There's a lot of things to consider for sure.
Yeah.
Sure, but I don't think we need to overcomplicate it either. I think all of these nice systems and the cool systems, they're cool and all, but also they kind of get in the way. They're not quite necessary.
What I'm hearing too is that what could be a solution, and this is, goes back to some stuff that Block Authority had put into place originally, is kind of an application process. If you're currently on the council, you may need to reapply, and other people can apply, and then we go and have a vote on it. The other thing that I'll address too is the proposal process. It's cumbersome to applicants, and it's cumbersome to council members. We've made some policy changes to make it a little less cumbersome. But are there ways to improve that moving forward? I'm not sure. I know that Shelley's been working on POW governance for Pact and Humble, and we could find a way to retrofit some of that system, to take care of how we go about voting on it. But at any rate,
you could always just run a simple Discord vote for members to nominate council members, and then the existing council members to basically vote on those nominations.
Yeah, that would be so much easier. I'd like to actually hear though from Chris, like the actual vision of governance, because like I said, I read the Constitution a long time ago, and a little bit with the president thing. So what is not happening that governance you envision?
He literally just said it. He went through it. Were you not listening?
Did he? I was,
yeah,
but
I mean,
maybe that was when it cut out.
I'm not gonna explain again.
Yeah, he
but you
literally
just
went through it,
and it's very laid out in there. But anyway, I think one thing that helped me a lot as a community member, we're trying to actually solve a problem, is what the fuck problem are we trying to solve? We need to have more direction and more focus on the acute problems and solve those issues overall. Are we talking about we need to add a new council member? Is that the problem? Or are we talking about there are more council members that want to go out? What is the acute issue that we need to solve?
Here's the issue that we need to solve. We were a council that was appointed, and we need to have an elected council at this point.
Okay.
So that the community can feel comfortable that we've got, full-on elected officials here in this space, and they weren't just appointed.
Sounds good. What council members, I don't know if you've actually talked to other council members, are willing to run for a vote and continue on?
Yeah, from at least the folks that I know, of course, myself, Shelley, I believe Zarmian, Kieran is looking to do a re-election as well, or at least has signaled that he would, take on the role for free, essentially, as a passion project.
So my question is, are all existing council members willing to rerun again?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. So all existing members are willing to rerun again. And what we need to do is we need to open it up for people to apply to run as well. That is the next thing, and let's talk about that. How do we allow people to apply for actually running for a council member, and what is needed for that?
Yeah, and I think you hold. You hold the keys to that.
How do I hold the keys to that?
You did it before. You had an application process, or maybe it was Sean. I don't know. Can we just reapply that application process? Can we just open up those applications?
Yeah, we can definitely we can make that easy. It wasn't fancy. Do you remember applying?
Yeah, it was. It was pretty simple.
It looked like a simple form.
We could simplify it even more than that, because I think that was.
I agree. I think really what we should do is over the next couple of weeks we should ask who wants to actually be a council member. That's it. And then have a simple Google form that people can fill out and be done with it. And then we'll have maybe 2 weeks is too short. Maybe 4 weeks is good. And then the other thing that I think that needs to be clear before we do it is what the compensation is. We decide what is the compensation of the council members. My opinion is I think that council members at this point probably should get a raise. And by the way, I'm speaking as Chris, the community member here. This is not anything other than that. I think that they should get a raise, but I also think that council members should require lockup for the entire length of their tenure, and
I agree.
potentially even more.
I agree. That would align incentives.
Like vesting,
Yeah.
vesting them, essentially dripping them out over a course of time.
Yep.
Exactly.
It would align
and so-
incentives if you did.